All right. It's Bitcoin. The time that everybody has been waiting for is coming. According to this countdown, it's 15, 16 hours away. So I feel like that this is something that has been overhyped in some senses. I don't think that in 15 hours, 54 minutes, Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. So let's go out to the month. We are like super far from this 20 period EMA. We're just super far from it. We're just leading up to the ETF news. We were going up too fast. We're just going up too fast. The ETF was a so the ETF was a demand shock. So all of this, counting the front runners, all of this was demand shock. And that demand shock had to give up, right, at some point. So from our little mark here, it went up 50%. And that is huge. I know people don't think it's huge, but it's really huge. Right? We have got to look at that and take that into consideration, that the demand shock for Bitcoin right now is not there. The demand shock is not there, that we may have actually left that phase altogether, which leads us to the supply shock. So let's so just to recap real quick, in my mind, the demand shock raised the price of Bitcoin 50%. Just the demand shock. So when the halving happens, the theory is we will then have a short supply, and that will drive prices up. But that shock from supply needs to happen. So a period of time has to happen where that supply dwindles before the shock happens, is what I'm trying to get at. And right now, while people are still willing to sell Bitcoin, we'll still have buyers. And if nobody's willing to buy it at the higher price, you get the idea. The will has to be there also. So let's drop to the 1 week, and this is looking like a fairly good correction here. We haven't touched the 20, and I don't want to touch the 20. But if we don't see a supply shock right away, if what I think happens and the supply shock doesn't happen for a little while, I'm going to go with around kind of 4 weeks after tomorrow, right? That we really won't see any type of a supply shock yet. I think that's a lagging thing that happens, just like indicators, right? Because on the week, on the RSI, we look horrible. We look horrible on the week. I'm going to ignore the MACD. Normally I would look at the MACD, and we haven't crossed yet on the MACD. So the sequential indicator that I'm using has given us a sell on the week. But I don't know. Let's go down to the day, and just to recount where I'm at. I'm not a professional. I don't get paid to do this. You shouldn't listen to anything that I say, and you should probably not try to follow my trades. So here we go. I think the last time that I streamed, I called this 2 right here, and I said this was a buy signal, and that was a buy signal. Let's go over the rules, my rules, real quick. My rules don't have to be your rules. Your rules can be whatever you want them to be. My rules are that if I buy Bitcoin, I'm never going to sell it. So right here, this would have been a buy for me. This right here is very much looking like it should be a buy also. So that's like... see what the difference here is. 3% difference. Well, 5% if you had bought straight off the 2. Now, what did I say, though? Well, I think that I had already pulled out a lot of profit somewhere up here. So if I buy Bitcoin, I put Bitcoin away. I use this to say, when is it time to start looking at altcoins? Altcoins to make the big percentages, right? So right here, I got into some altcoins, but as soon as we dipped here, I got seriously worried. As soon as we dipped here, I had already raised my stop limit to break even. As soon as we got here, I got seriously worried. As soon as we got here, I got seriously worried. And as soon as we dropped under here, it hit my break-even stop loss, and I was out. And I've been out ever since. And the reason that I didn't get back in was because on the day, I didn't see this 2, right? Or this the 1-2 combination, the one green, or the green 1, is actually a red candle. So I'm always wary about that. But I was looking for the ride. You know, are we going to ride this 20 EMA, or are we going to break underneath it? Because we still haven't broken this point. Right? And I said that we really needed to get some good support around, I guess, let's call it 70K, right? Above 69K is where the line is. So we really needed to get some good support above that before we make another run at the all-time high, let's call it, right? Because I don't know if it's really the all-time high if you go back far enough. But anyways, we'll say, yeah, that's the all-time high, last all-time high. But we didn't make... So here I was getting worried, but I was thinking, screw it. You know, I'm missing out on like 10% profit maybe. But we're all the way back here. We've got this green 2. We've just crossed the 50, the green 50 EMA line there. And this is a fairly strong buy signal, especially with the RSI. It might be a lot stronger tomorrow at 10 p.m. But right now this is looking like a good one. So what that means is that I am going to be looking at altcoins, right? And I'm going to be looking for things that are throwing buy signals on the altcoins. So good luck. That's, I guess, what you should be doing is what I'm saying, is you should be looking for some buy signals on some altcoins. And Like that's actually a pretty good one on H bar, but I don't know. Um, like I said, don't try to follow my trades. I haven't even made my trades, but I'm thinking about making a couple before I go to sleep. Listen to some music while I make some trades and set some stop limits. So that's my warning, right? Is the halving does not automatically mean that it's going to just go through the moon. We have just ended a demand shock, and that demand shock means that there's no demand. So we have to wait for the supply to dwindle enough for there to be a supply shock for this halvening shock effect that everybody's talking about to take effect. I still have not. I'm still sticking at 185. I'm really going to be worried about it, about Bitcoin reaching its all-time high and being done. I'm still looking at, I feel like I keep pushing this out. Maybe I am. But I still feel like we're looking at 10 to 15 months of upside. So maybe we get well past 185. I don't know. But that's a lot of opportunity still to trade on the altcoins. And that's all that I wanted to say. Have a great weekend. So tomorrow's Friday. Have a great day at work. Then I want you to have a great weekend.